everyone. Today I will be walking you through how to create a table of contents, how to use section breaks, and how to add page numbers into your document. So first things first, I'll go over how to create a table of contents. Now you'll see in the document that I'm using today that all of the headers in the document have already been formatted, and I would recommend this to you as well before beginning to create your table of contents in Word. So go ahead and make sure that your headings are already in. In this case, in this paper, I have my section 1 headings already in place, and then I also have section 2 headings, and that's about as deep as I go. I don't have section 3 headings, but make sure those are in place too if that pertains to you. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to be using something called the style panes. And I'm using a Mac today, so it might look a little different for you if you're on a PC, but the same principles should generally apply. So you're going to want to go to your Home tab and locate the Styles pane. When you click on this, something else should pop up on this right side, and you'll see that there are different headings right here. We're going to be working with this today. If you need something that goes past the heading 3, you can go ahead and expand this list by coming down to List, and then you can click All Styles, and that will expand it to give you up to 9 headings that you can use. In this case, I only have 2 level headings, so I'm going to say I'm just going to click the recommended and go with that. So essentially what you're going to want to do is any heading that you have, you're going to want to click, highlight it, and then click to let Word know that, hey, this is a heading 1 element that I want to include in my table of contents. And you'll go through and you'll click every single one of these and click heading 1. Once you get to these guys, or heading 2s or heading 3s, you'll do the same thing, but then you'll click heading 2 or heading 3. And the cool thing is once you kind of formatted this over here on the right, you just have to highlight the section and then you can click heading 1, for example, and it will automatically format in that way. Because this is this heading 2, I'll just click this here and it'll go back over here like it's supposed to for heading 2s. In order to format this panel, what you can do is you can left click on this drop down and you can click Modify Style, and you just go ahead and change anything in here that you would like, whether it's kind of the font size or the font type or different things like that, to let it know how you want your headings formatted. And then you can go through and click. Once you've updated all of your headings, you'll go ahead and create a little bit of space here. My table of contents is going to come before the main body of the paper, so before the introduction section and right after the abstract. So once you've gotten to this point, you'll click on References. You come over here to the left and click on Table of Contents. And there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of format your table of contents. You can even create your own custom table of contents. I kind of like to just use the classic just because it's easiest and simplest. So go ahead and click this, and there you have it. There's your table of contents. And obviously this may not look the way that you want it to. I'd probably go in and format a lot of this to kind of fit my needs. And you would just format this like anything else you would in a normal document. So for example, I don't like that the table of contents is kind of a dark blue instead of black. I highlight it, I go back to the Home tab, and I can change the color here. I can change the font size here, and it's just simple like that. And you can do the same thing with anything else in the body of the table of contents. Just be careful when you're editing the body. It's a little bit more tricky because all of these are hyperlinked. So you want to make sure that your mouse is not kind of in this hand shape. Otherwise, when you click on this, it will not let it edit for you. It will just jump in your document to that section heading. So just be careful of that there. Okay, so that is basically it in terms of table of contents. And now I guess we will move on to section breaks. So why are section breaks important? It's essentially just because there's some weird formatting things that need to take place with how you do your page numbers on different sections. And so you just need to divide up your paper into different sections in order to make the formatting within the document possible. So what essentially you're going to do here is after you have your table of contents page in, you can exit out of the styles pane. You won't really need this. What you will need though is to toggle this little black paragraph button here. If you go ahead and click that, it's going to show all the formatting within your document. So these little paragraphs mean that or little paragraph signs means that there was entered in, and that there are a bunch of spaces, and different things like that. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to go into layout, then you're going to click on breaks, and then you're going to click on insert a section break. And that will just section break next page. So there's a bunch of different kinds of breaks. In this case, you're just going to want to click it onto a next page just so it's clean and nice. And again, you can kind of modify this. You can bring this up. If you want to delete the spacing, you just highlight it and bring it up. In this case, it actually also introduced a space here. So you can just come back to the home page and just remove the space before the paragraph just to make sure it's up and aligned with where you want it to be. And then you're also going to include a section break at the end of your table of contents page because you want it to be just clean and crisp. Your introduction will start on a new page. So come back to layout, breaks, and then insert a section break and start the new section on the next page. Great. So once you kind of have these in place, now your document is nicely oriented to be cleaned and ready to kind of insert the page numbers that you need them to be in. So next, what you'll do is you'll come to this page, right? So you'll click kind of on your table of contents page, and just like any other document, you'll add your page numbers in. So page number, in this case, you want it on the bottom page in the center, and you do want to show the number on the first page because this is the first page of just this section. You'll click format. You'll start at, in this case, V, because it's Roman numeral numbering. So whichever page number this is, because you don't want any numbers to appear on any of the previous pages. That's just kind of how it's formatted within this dissertation process. So you'll go ahead and click that and you'll click OK. And once you get that in, then you'll click OK again. And you should have a V now on the bottom of this page. And you'll see that maybe some of these other pages also now have page numbers. To get rid of these, you could come up here and, well, maybe come down here first and just make sure that this is not clicked, link to previous, because this links the previous section to this one. So they'll tie the two together. What you want to do is to have these independent of one another so you can change these sections numberings as much as you need them to. That way, if you delete this down here or you delete this up here, this won't affect this section and this numbering. So here you can just delete that, and you come down here and this is still intact and in place. Ready to go. And then what you'll do for this section, now this entire introduction section and all of your kind of main body of your paper now needs to be changed down here. You do want to unclick this, link to previous again. You'll highlight this, you'll go to page number, you'll format the page number. You'll click start at 1, and then you'll change the type of numbering because you want it to be Arabic numbering now, rather than kind of the Roman numerals. So you go ahead and click that, and now it's at 1. And it should follow through with all the rest of your documents. So now you can kind of close your header and footer. You can unclick this, and hopefully, it will be in the right section where you're seeing no page numbers on these, which I don't see. And then you have your table of contents here, except for you do have a Roman numeral. So this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's correct. 5th page. And then here you have it start over at 1 using different numbering. So that is all that we're covering today. Hopefully this is helpful. And best of luck as you continue to format and work on the rest of your dissertation.